Good morning students, welcome to the next video of punctuation, and in this video we will discuss about the remaining punctuation marks. As in the earlier video we discussed about two punctuation marks, full stop and comma. So let's see the third one, that is colon. What is colon? When we use colon, so we use colon to introduce a list of things. Like see the example. Yesterday I had an enormous meal. So here an enormous meal, the speaker said that yesterday I had enormous meal. Now what were the items in the enormous meal? So onion soup, a dozen oysters, a pile of potatoes, an apple pie and an ice cream. So these were the items that were in enormous meal, and as these are the list of items, that's why it is introduced by colon. Next is introduce something which is written in quotation mark, like remember the old proverb, more haste, less speed. So if we have to introduce anything written in quotation mark, then we can use colon. Next use is that make two statements in the same sentence say something of equal value. Now, if there is a sentence containing two statements, means at least two statements. So if any sentence contains two statements but both the statements have same value, then we will separate them including semicolon. Like Mary is a regular world traveler. Okay, there is a girl Mary who is regular world traveler. This is one statement. Second statement, every year she visits many countries. Now if someone will visit many countries every year, that simply means that the person is a regular world traveler. So here you can see both the statements are denoting the same thing, and that's why they are having same value, equal value, and that's why the colon is used to separate these two statements. Next one is semicolon. The fourth one is semicolon. A semicolon can be used instead of a full stop when the two parts of the sentence are too closely related in meaning to be put into separate sentence. Now, when we use semicolon, so when two parts of a single sentence are closely related to each other, meaning wise, then we use semicolon to separate it. Like see, we did not go into the theater before our friends arrived. Instead, we waited outside. Now, there are a group of people who have to go theater, but they waited, but they didn't enter before their friends' arrival, and they waited outside. Now, both are related to each other. Why they waited outside? Because their friends had not arrived. And why they didn't enter into the theater, why they were waiting for the friends? Because they hadn't arrived. So both the statements are denoting the same thing. They are related to each other, they are interconnected. That's why semicolon will be used to separate it. Next use of semicolon is that semicolon can also be used between items on a list when the item consists of a number of words, or when the use of comma alone would be confusing. Now it is written that we use semicolon with a list of items. Okay, when using commas can be confusing. Like see, with the example you can clearly understand. The committee consisted of Carol Jones, the staff representative, Bill Johnson, the boss, Terry Smith, the local doctor, Murray Todd, the fisherman, and Mary Renisha, the cook. Now you can see here the sentence is about a committee in which the first member is Carol Jones, who is staff representative, then Bill Johnson, who is the boss, then Terry Smith, who is the local doctor, then Murray Todd, the fisherman, and Mary Renisha, that is the cook. So here different members of committee, 5 members of committee are here. So we can separate these members, names of members, using comma. But their designation has also been mentioned. That first one is staff representative, then boss, then local driver, like this. So then also we need to separate these profiles using comma. So there are two types of list provided in this example, and as this example is consisting of two types of list, so if we will use comma only everywhere, it will be a little bit confusing. It may confuse the reader. That's why with the names, to separate the names, semicolons are used, and to separate the names and the designations, comma is used. Next one is question mark. We use question mark with interrogative sentence when we normally ask question like, will you come over after school? Can you please help me? Will you wait here for some time? Like this. So whenever there is a normal question, then we use question mark. Next one is exclamatory mark, means exclamation mark. We use exclamation mark when we have to express any kind of feeling of sadness, of anger, of joy, of happiness, of fear, any kind. So whenever we have to express any feeling, then we use exclamation mark. So simply you can understand that we use exclamation mark with exclamatory sentences like keep quiet. So it's an order, keep quiet. What a victory. It's denoting happiness. It's denoting joy. So what's a victory? Oh, that was a terrible accident. It is denoting sadness. That's why exclamatory mark is used. So whenever we have to express any feeling, any kind of feeling, then we use exclamation mark, and that with exclamatory sentence. Next one is quotation mark. You can also call it inverted commas. So why we use quotation mark? So whenever we have to indicate the exact words of the writer or speaker, then we use quotation mark. Okay, like see, I asked who is the class teacher of your school. So here the speaker is mentioning the exact words which were said by the speaker only, and that you can say that it is written in direct speech. So simply you can say whenever something is written in direct speech, then that is introduced and ended using inverted commas. When we have to when we have to denote the exact words of the speaker, that means a sentence of direct speech, then we use inverted commas. So these were some more punctuation marks, and we learned about its uses. In the next video we will discuss about the remaining punctuation marks. So that's all for today. Thank you.